We are working our way towards Broncos training camp. I'm Aric DiLalla here with the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. Steve, you know, guys, they come in as rookies. There's a lot going on. Their heads are swimming a little bit. And then a lot of the times you see guys in year two, they make that huge sophomore jump. What is it that you think allows guys to have so much more success in year two? And maybe who's one of those guys from last year's rookie class that you think could really surge forward this year?
Yeah, I think more than anything, just comfortability with the system and coming back knowing that, hey, we're running the same plays that we ran last year, and now I can really not have to think so much, but I can really use my talents and skills to make the great plays. And one of the guys who made some great plays for us last year, Marvin Mims, I think he's going to go to that next level. He ended up getting a Pro Bowl bid as a punt returner. He did a marvelous job of that, but he also was a great wide receiver, and he didn't get as many balls thrown his way, but I think that may change this year. I think he's going to get a lot more balls thrown his way, and people are going to know who Marvin Mims is. He's going to be a household name.
I like it. He's got the speed, certainly good hands. I thought one of the most impressive things about him was, I think back to that Patriots game last year, right? And he drops that kickoff, and the Patriots score a touchdown. And it's probably one of the toughest moments of his young NFL career. And he comes back a few plays later and makes a great catch down the field. And that toughness, I thought, was really impressive. He had 22 catches for under 400 yards and a touchdown last year. But Sean Payton has basically said, we just got to give him more opportunity. So I am excited to see what Marvin Mims can do. I'm going to go to the other side of the ball, a guy who maybe will cover him a little bit here over the next few weeks in training camp, Riley Moss at corner. I think he's got a really good chance to start opposite Pat Surtain. He made some great plays in OTAs and mini camp. There's one kind of a deep ball. He's extending his arm, finds a way to make kind of a diving pass breakup. We know how much they liked him a year ago because they traded back up to get Riley Moss. He had that injury, right, and the kind of the core muscle, and so he missed a lot of training camp, and then part of the start of the season. Tough to get into it, I think, when you've missed all that practice time, especially when you're trying to learn the defense. But he's healthy now. He's playing well. Steve, he feels like a guy to me that could really develop into a good player this year.
Man, he's the kind of cornerback that I love to watch, love to play with. He's a guy who's handsy, meaning that when guys are running their routes, it's not going to be an easy route. He's going to get a hand and get a chuck on you, a little tug here and there. And he's going to make a lot of plays. And he's physical. He's perfect size for a cornerback, about 6'1", and he can fly. So I'm looking forward to him making a huge jump this year. And, again, that's another room, that cornerback room has a lot of competition, and it's only going to make them all better.
Yeah, it won't be easy to start there. You got other guys, Damari Mathis, Levi Wallace, Tremont Smith. I mean, a lot of guys that are going to try to jockey for that job. One of the things Vance Joseph said right before the end of the offseason was, you got to have that mental toughness, too, when you're playing across from Pat Surtain, because you're going to see so many passes, so many targets. So we'll have to see how he does from that standpoint. Steve, it doesn't even feel like he's entering year two because he did so much last year, but Jalil McLaughlin is maybe one other guy I want to touch on here. Drew Sanders would have been a guy we talked about, but unfortunately he's dealing with that injury. We'll have to see if he comes back later in the year. But Jalil McLaughlin, just 410 rush yards last year with a touchdown, 31 catches for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. He was kind of that do-it-all player. It felt like early in the year maybe when he was on the field, you knew he was going to get the ball, and then later in the year they found some ways to kind of mix it up a little bit, which I think helped him. But what's the next step for Jalil?
Well, I think the role will be similar. He's a playmaker. When the defenders have to cover him, it's a definite mismatch. I don't think anybody can cover him. No linebacker, no safety. I don't think any of those guys can cover him because he has the speed, the quickness, and he has good hands, too, in order to make those catches. And he has great vision to be a small guy, and he's not afraid to hit up in there. So he's a great young player. I think he has a lot of fans' hearts. He caught a lot of fans' heart last year. And, he also has Coach Payton's heart by his work ethic. Showing up early, working his tail off, staying late, and doing everything he has to do to be prepared.
Yeah, he's here, at 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. He's running hills. I'm still tucked into bed, Steve. I'm cozy. I'm not getting up for a little bit. He's here working. So
And everybody knows him, too.
He's always here. He's working hard. We'll have to see if any of those guys make that jump this year. We're going to continue previewing what to watch for in training camp over the next several weeks. For Steve Atwater, the Hall of Famer, I'm Aric DiLalla.